Hey there, welcome back. So we are now 2 missions in out of our 6. And on mission 1, we scored and earned 0 victory points and 0 experience points with 2 pilots killed. Mission 2, we earned 1 experience point and 0 victory points with 1 pilot killed. And we have 3 pilots out of the 6 necessary to lose the game. That's not a goal we wanted to achieve, but we're halfway there. We have 4 missions left to go. Herman Goring has reported that he is very displeased with our performance so far, and the allies are making him look quite embarrassed. And last I heard is that we were told that we were being possibly promoted, and we might be going on a vacation soon. So that does not make me feel good. So let's turn this thing around. We're on mission 3. Mission 3. This is the mission where all the magic is going to start happening. As far as pilots go, like I said, 3 of our pilots have been killed. So 2 of our BF-109 pilots experts are gone. The Grzelowski had 2 experience points, which was well on his way. He's gone. We have 2 FW-190 and 1 BF-109 pilot that are still experts left. We're down to 3. And then we have 3 green pilots, and that's not good. All right, so we're sucking wind. Let's get ready to rumble. So first things first, we come over here and see what map we're going to get. We want a 1 to a 6. I got a 5. Perfect. We're going to do map 1. That's what we want. This one might not be bad, the map 5. It would have been nice to try it because that's the new Storm Above the Reich map, but that's okay. Let's just flip over to map 1. That's going to be a lot better for us. And I'm just doing that off camera here. And please ignore annoying dog. I will pause until I can get her to stop barking. Okay, so we have our map up. Let's figure out if we're doing A or B. That is an even number, so we're going to do A, which is that formation up there. And let's get out our sheet, because we need to get our sheet together. See, that's funny to me. Okay, so I rolled a 5. We're a near target, which is a different type of mission. So that's not necessarily a good thing. The outbound targets are actually the best way to get points. The inbound targets, of course, you get the most points if you can do an inbound. The problem with inbound is you don't get a lot of OP. The near target, the OP is exactly the same. So really the near target is the worst. Okay, so let's figure out how much OP we're going to get. I rolled a 5, so we get 4. And that's the least amount we've had yet. So we're off to a very bad start. And we don't roll for our escort until we pick our guys. So looking at our roster here, let's grab our experts, Ifland and Barr. Barr and Ifland. So we got 2 FW-190s. And if we want to be able to get a swarm, we need to have 4 of the same type. So I'm going to grab, let's just grab 2 veterans. I'm going to get Frey and Clausen. So I don't think we're going to go after the green guys at the moment. We need to get points. I can't go for style anymore. Okay, so then we're going to roll for escort. So that's a 7, which is an excellent roll. And here's why. A 7 is no escorts at all. Yes! So happy about that. That will be a very, very good thing. Okay, so we got our 4. We're ready to rock and roll here. So let's get the situation manual going. So map 1, near target, you can see is page 3. So let's get this stuff out here. So page 3 looks like this. I'm gonna roll real quick for the flak. I rolled a 10, and the 10 is this one, so the flak didn't hit anybody. So it is not good. Now this flak roll is going to happen over and over again because we're near the target. So that's the difference. Is we're going to have the bombers can continually get damaged by the ground anti-air, but the ground anti-air can damage us too. So we are just as susceptible to being damaged. And the thing you want to pay attention to is if you look here, the tail approach gets hit quite often. So we probably don't want to be in the tail, but then the nose gets hit here and then the oblique gets hit. Like there is no safe zone. But the tail is in at least 4 of the 10 spots, and the nose is only in, looks like 3 of the 10. So the obliques are probably the safer routes, but the obliques are also the hardest way to hit these planes. So, okay, let's keep going. This formation is not anchored. And then let's roll for sun. I rolled a 4, and the sun is on high flank. And there are no contrails, so we don't have to worry about them yet. So high flank, opposite side. So that means the sun. Oh, look, my sun is over there. Just like the sun is over there. All right, he's leaving. It doesn't want anything to do with my bad dad jokes. Oh, so I just hope that all of you viewers can have your own kids someday so you can give them bad dad jokes too. There's something satisfying about it. Oh, he's giving me looks. All right, tactical points. 7. That gives us 3 tactical points. All right, and then the flight limit. I rolled a 1. So flight limit's only 4, which stinks. That is not good at all. I just did something wrong. Remember I rolled a 10 and said that there was no damage? That's wrong. Right here, previous damage. To determine the damage the markers that the formation begins with, use the inbound situation and roll a die. Good thing I paid attention here. So what you see here is when we're over the target, and we're gonna have to pull this out every time. But we need to go to page 2 here, and right here you can see number 10, which is what I rolled. We have damage on this bomber and that bomber, so that was actually really good. So we're gonna go ahead and apply that right now. And my apologies, I almost missed that. I think I missed that in my playthrough 2 years ago as well. I'm very rarely near the target, so I always forget about that little feature. Okay. So, I gotta look at the formation again. I already forgot who got hit. All right, so it's gonna be this guy and this guy. So we'll do the one up front first. And we got a fuselage, and then the one in the back is the wing. So I'm gonna roll red and a black. The red will be for the first. So 5 and a 2, so they both miss. So the fuselage is gonna be an elevator hit. And the wing, ooh, that's a kill. Like if we get it to fall and pursue it, that is a kill, folks. And how do I know? Or no, that's not a kill, but it's pretty close. That's a good damage one. Okay, that's not a kill, but very, very close. And here's the other thing is it's already it's already got a cohesion check issue. So see the big difference between map 1 and map 2? I mean, getting map 2 in 1942 is brutal. Okay, so already off to a bit of a better start. We put our tactical points in, we put our mission turn in, I think, or I'm sorry, it's our flight limit, not the mission turn. And we're good to go. There's no escorts. Although on our vector map, escorts could still arrive. And so we already know for the vectoring that the tactical points are going to go up by 2 and the flight limit's going to go up by 2. So that part is extremely helpful, especially since our flight limit was a very poor roll. And then we get out the vector map, and let's rock and roll. With the escort situation, we learned the hard way why maybe you don't want to have all of your groups in the same zone, but that's okay. Here's our 4 FW-190s, and we're going to get 2 BF-109s now. Schmidt is an expert, so we'll get him out. And then we're going to get a... we did bring out the Buttfargen, and he got a experience point last time. But I think we should get out Oblacer, and we need to get the best people we can going. So I have 2 groups. This would be the group that would help us get Schwarm, and then this is the other group. So to help us to get position and then, you know, everything from there. So yes, we're going to come in far zone there, and I'm going to go ahead and roll 2 dice. And you can see I got a 16, and a 16 is excellent. There's a bomber that's already trailing. This has never happened to us before, so I need to actually look up what that means. But basically, a bomber is already going to be on the map, and we can pursue it for victory points. I think it takes damage, like we're actually going to draw damage tokens for it and everything. So I'm almost there. Oh, I grabbed the wrong rule book. That's my issue. Situation. Here it is. Okay, 21. I will show you in a second as soon as I get my hands free here. Okay, so we have a straggler. Place a bomber marker in the fighter zone. Altitude does not matter. Place it anywhere in the zone. If playing the advanced game, which we are, roll 1 die. If the number is even, place 2 damage markers under it. If the number is odd, place 1 damage marker under the bomber marker. While vectoring to intercept the bomber formation, a pilot spots a lone bomber below. Okay, so now when we get into the flight action phase, that actually has actions for us. There's escorts that can do things to us, which happened to us last time. We don't want to worry about that. But if we scroll through all of that, we can intercept stragglers. So during the intercept phase, which is normally what happens when you're at the end, right? And then you're going to join the main map. We have this here where it says if a bomber marker is in the fighter zone because of a straggler, you may assign 1 or more groups to attack it. You may split a group now in order to have only some fighters in it intercept the bomber. Only fighters from the same group may be assigned to the same straggler. You may not assign from different groups. Interception is automatic, no die rolls necessary, and if playing basic rules, interception is not automatic, but if successful, the bomber will automatically be destroyed. So the basic rules, I will show this to you. If there are 2 bomber markers being intercepted, perform 1 interception at a time, roll a die. If it's equal to or less than the BV, remember the BV is like what happened whenever we had the escorts attack. So experts are worth 3 points, veterans are worth 2. So you got to add up your BV value, and then you got to roll. Has to be equal to or less than the BV and TP. Interception is successful, bomber is destroyed. So for the advanced rules, instead of the above procedure, transfer the bomber, its damage markers, and the fighters from the vector map to the appropriate pursuit map. And then we can transfer some TPs if we want. And then we resolve it immediately. So normally we resolve that at the very end, but we would do that right away. Okay, so I know we went through a lot of stuff here, but I will summarize it for you if you weren't able to keep up with it. So basically what it's saying is that a bomber was a straggler. We found one, right? So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to roll a die. And if it's even, it's going to take 2 damage. If it's odd, it gets 3. And I already forgot, but let me make sure. Yep, even it takes 2 damage. If it's odd, it takes 1 damage. Okay, so let's hope for an even number. And it's hidden behind here. It's odd, of course it's odd. You jerks. All right, so it has 1 damage on it, and that 1 damage is a wing. That's all it is, 1 wing point. Okay, so if I want to, I can break off one of my fighters to pursue this. I will have to, possibly give up some tactical points to do so. And the problem is it only has 1 damage marker on it. If it had 2, I would have really be feeling a lot better about this. I'm just checking one more thing. Yeah, there's no experience points or anything earned yet. Okay, so from a turn order perspective, we applied the results. We're now assigning what we're going to do, and then we're in the intercept mode, or we can go back to vector again. So I have to decide right now if I'm going to pursue this. And my answer is yes, and I will send... Schmidt has the quick ability, so I'm going to send him after this bomber. So I'm going to just set this aside, and we'll resolve it later. But technically it's resolved immediately. But just understand that since Schmidt's going after this bomber, he's not allowed to participate in the main mission. So we're just going to finish so we can get this out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and take care of that later. All right. I guess technically speaking, I got to make a decision now how many tactical points I'm going to spend. And I'm going to tell you I will spend 2. Because if you know how many of these you're going to be dealing with, because like this could happen again and again and again, then you'll be a little smarter about how you're dividing your tactical points. So you do have to make that decision now, because technically you're supposed to resolve this now. So I'm going to tell you I'm making 2 tactical points towards it. So that way I'm not influenced by whatever happens in the future. All right, so we're going to move on. 0 TP to move to here. And I'm going to roll my dice. And I got a 9 with the dice. And 9 is a weather, which we like the weather one. So I'm going to go ahead and move this group high. And then nothing else is happening. So now we're going to go ahead and move to the next zone. If I spend 1 TP, I can be in high altitude. Ooh. I will do that. I'm going to spend 1 TP to stay high, and then this one will stay there. So I'm down 1, 2, 3 tactical points. I'm down to 2 tactical points, which I'm okay with. The reason is I think coming in high is going to be very advantageous for me. We're going to give that a try. I got to be really aggressive here. We got to score some points. And then in our last zone, we're going to roll. And I got an 11. So as long as it's not something low like last time. And 11 here is this plus a W. And this stinks. It's a malfunction. 1 fighter returns to base. So the fighter that's going to return to base is going to be the... This is a tempting one, right? But I have this little trick that I can do where you avoid collision issues. But you need 4 for the swarm. So we need 4 for swarm, and we need him to avoid the collision issues. And I would actually get all 3 attack advantages if I can send those 5 into battle. But because we hit this stupid thing, I have to send one home. And then what's even worse is that we have a weather thing, so I can move somebody to high altitude. So I spent a TP for nothing. If I send one of these guys away, I lose Swarm. I don't like the answer. I need 5 guys to make... So, yeah. The strategy I have is rock solid, but you need 5 guys to do it. And this is causing me to... Really, I'm going to be at the mercy of a lot of dice rolling, and that has not worked out in my favor so far. So this vector map minigame has ruined the way I usually play this game. You know, am I complaining about it? I mean, I am only complaining because I'm losing. It's definitely made the game harder. So if I get rid of one of those, I lose Swarm, but I can still get the other 2. Swarm is so powerful. But here's the deal. If I get rid of him, then I have to do a collision check. And there's a really, really good chance, just like that we saw in the first mission, where your plans just get ruined and you never actually get the Swarm that you were hoping for. Actually, you can get Swarm as long as you don't attack the same boxes. So the reason the collision check happened was because we put 2 in the same box. We were trying to get the Rada. The Rada is what ruined it for us. So if I send him, I can still get Swarm. Okay, I will do that. I'm going to send him packing. He has a malfunction. These other 4 are going to make it through, and they can go level for 0 TP, level altitude. So let me get this closed out. There's no escorts, so we don't have to worry about that. And if you forgot what I was talking about, to get Swarm, you need to have 4 fighters that are in a non-oblique, so neither of the flanks. They have to be determined, which we don't decide yet. And they have to be the same type, which is this. So I'm going to be able to qualify for Swarm. The Rada advantage, you need a space with 2 or more fighters. But that's what causes a collision check. And last time that really did not work out for us. Now, the trick is if you have somebody coming in from the oblique side that is in the same space as one of these, that still counts as a space with 2 fighters, because this does not have to be the same fighter type. Oh no, it says Rada and Swarm must be determined and same fighter type. So, so yeah, 2 of these would have to be in the same box. And then if I have a 3rd guy coming in from the side, that 3rd guy can be evasive, and then he does the check, the collision check, instead of these 2. And then I pass the collision check, and I automatically get the Rada advantage without risking these 2 being kicked out. Now, this one here, the element has to be attacked from more than one altitude and position. Again, the guy who's coming from the flank can be at a different altitude, and of course it's a different position because this is nose, this is flank. So, so by losing that one guy that's coming from the flank, I lost the ability to get both of these. But I can still get Swarm, and Swarm might be enough. Now I'm going to go nose level because of my altitude. And then let's resolve the pursuit map. So with this pursuit map, I'm going to use the bomber token as our TP track. So I gave myself 2, and there's a wing damage here. So I'm going to roll for the wing table. And I just rolled a 10, and oh my gosh, how awesome is this? 10, it is a ball of fire, it is destroyed. Folks, we just scored our first victory point. Oh my gosh. All right, so now I don't get any experience points for the fighter, but that's okay. We got our first victory point. Wow. So we finally got a bomber. And it took a miracle roll, but, you know, it took some awful rolls to cause the other outcomes that happened, and those came too. So Schmidt flies home totally healthy and happy. He did not get any experience points, though, so that was a waste of our expert, but that's okay. The other guy couldn't finish anyways either, so no harm, no foul there. All right, so now we're going to move this stuff out of the way, and let's get to the mission of destroying. So we're on mission turn 1. We weren't ever delayed, and let's start at the top. We got to move. So the move action is to come onto the board. So even though they're already there, that's technically the move action. So the whole turn is almost over. There is no escort, there is no return, there's no recovery. But we do have to do blast and flak, because remember, we're near the target. So I got to get this open again to page 3. So we have to do this stuff. So I'm going to roll real quick. I rolled a 3. And 3 actually destroys or hits anything that's in the nose approach. Now, we're not in the nose approach. Nose approach are these 3 boxes, okay? We're in the nose. So just wanted to make sure you understood that distinction. And right there, you can see the flak hit this guy right here. So we're going to have to do another hit. And that hit, by the way, is coming from the ground, and we don't get any experience points for that. At least our fighters don't, but the staffel will. So, and I can verify that because it's confusing. There's times when you get the experience, there's times when you don't. So the hit is a fuselage hit, so there's no die roll for this one, and it's just 1 damage to the fuselage. So there's no experience points necessary to figure out yet. And that helps us to get 1 step closer to bringing that thing down. Okay, so next we have cohesion. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3. So if I roll a 1 or a 2, what's in the middle? Okay, so I rolled a 10. That's not going to work. It would have gone down a cohesion level, but that's not the case. So now we move to mission turn 2. All right. So for mission turn 2, we are going to attack. We're going to go nose, attack in. That's our move. And then we got to roll for flak, and let's hope we don't get that 3 like we did last time. We got a 4. Well, the good news is the 4 is only hitting the tail approach, so we're not getting hit. And then this rear plane is getting hit again. So we're going to go ahead and draw a damage token for that plane now. And it's a wing. Okay, I didn't get the 9. This would have been destroyed, but look at this. That's another 2 damage to the wing. So now that's 6 damage. It only needs 5. So let's say that plane falls out of formation. All we need to do is send somebody there, and it's an automatic victory point because it only needs 5 wing damage to be destroyed. So we still have to knock it out, right? It still has to fall out of formation because right now it has enough damage to be destroyed, but it's still flying along on, skin and teeth. So that is definitely a target we may want to, go after and try to get him to go down. Also, if I can get him up to 10 total damage, then he's just destroyed outright. So that's another possibility. Okay, so we did that. That was blast and flak. So now we're going to roll for cohesion. And I rolled a 5. There's 4 of them out there. So cohesion still passes. So no advantage for us there. And now we go to the actual attack. So in order to get swarm, I just need to have 4 determined fighters from the same approach box, which is what this is. And of course, I don't get to take the token until after collision checks. So let me just show you real quick. So let's say I'm going to go here, and then Ifland has the luck. So let's say I do that, and let's say I doubled up there and there. I'd have to do a collision check here, collision check there. If for any reason they're sent home, or even sent to break away, like anywhere, I no longer have 4 guys. And so it does say from same approach box, but those 4 fighters have to be attacked by the element. And they're not attacked by the element if the collision check causes them to go away. So I'm taking a lot of risk by doubling up. Now by doubling up, I may get Rada, right? I can get this, which cancels a hit. But the risk I'm taking is I got to do 2 collision checks and somehow pass those. Let me just tell you, when you do a collision check, I would say your chances are about 30% that nothing bad's going to happen to you. So I don't think the odds are in your favor. So the problem is you want to double them up because you want to take this plane down and that plane, right? Because they're the weak ones. So the next best thing you can do is put your best guys on them. So Bar on this one, Ifland on that one, and then these are our 2 veterans. And then what I can do is I can just put a veteran here and a veteran there. So we're going after all 4 planes and we're getting what's called the swarm. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think I was getting too cute and wanting to show you guys different rules and how collision checks worked. Collision checks suck. I know the designer seems to really like the idea because collision checks will actually clog us up and cause their it causes their cohesion to fail, which is true. All of it's true. It's not worth it. So I'm going to do that, and there is no collision check. So I am guaranteeing that I get this swarm. So I'm going to put that right there. So now the next part is order matters. We have 2 threat here, 2 threat here. I believe this one is also 2 threat, but this one's only 1. So ideally, I think I want to start with this guy. Now, the problem that he creates is when do we use these? I would like to see the outcome of this attack, because if this attack can bring it down on his own, then I can use these somewhere else. But if he can't bring it down on his own, then I want to use these to help him, right? Whereas if I attack with this guy, I may need to use these to bring this down, and that might be my only chance to take it. So even though this one has the lower threat, I want to start here because this is my priority. I know for a fact that that's a victory point if I could just get him down. So we're going to start with this guy. All right, so we are determined. We're coming in level. So technically all 4 of them have this blue thing underneath. You know, I sometimes don't bother putting these blue things underneath because I know they're all level. But if you want to remind yourself, or, you know, for purposes of rule clarity, that's what it looks like. And what are they going to do? Are we going to the tail? Are we going to the flank? You know, there's all kinds of options here. There's no escorts that are going to bother us. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to climb to the left. And why am I going to do that? Well, because there's a sun over there. So I'm going to roll climb that way. And I'm going to do that with all 4 guys. All right. So I'm not going to bother getting 4 tokens out. It's going to be the same for all 4 guys. We're going to roll climb that way. Now, one thing I am concerned about is if this one roll climbs, I'm going into a 3 threat zone. So maybe that's not a smart move for him. Let me think about that. You know what? That's not a smart move. So what I'm going to do with him is I'm just going to dive with this one. Because moving into this zone here, that's not smart. Okay? All right. Are we good? Yes, I think we are. I think I covered everything. So let's get into resolving this. So for Iflin there, we are coming from the nose level. The threat level is 2, and Iflin's skill is luck, so he can cancel 1 hit. So here we go. This is the nose level 1, 2, and it is a nothing burger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a swarm hit because I need to hit this thing. So I'm going to apply a swarm hit to him. And I got a fuselage hit. I rolled a 7, which isn't enough. I flip it over, and it's 1 rudder damage. And then I'm going to use my last swarm hit to hit again. It is another wing damage, and it's 1 more. This plane is still not taken down. It has 8 total damage, and it's still flying. The wing damage, it has so much wing damage, it's not even funny, but so now, because I'm roll climbing, the progress on this was 2. See where it says 2 right there? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go 1 and then 2, and I'm going to end up in that zone right there, and I do continuing fire. Okay, so continuing fire, that's an FW190, so I got to grab from the right stack here. So making sure it says storm above the Reich. So we're going to do continuing fire. He is determined and 1. So here you can see if he was dive rolling, he can skip continuing fire. If he has aggressive attitude, you do not skip, but he doesn't have either of those. So he is determined, he's taking a hit. So he will use his luck to cancel that hit. And this is why I love luck. So I do need to indicate that so I don't forget. Okay, so I indicated that, and he's going to go into this return box right there. All right, so I did not take down the one I wanted to take down. I did get the 2 extra hits. If I can get another fighter to pass through and get a hit on him, he's going to probably be destroyed by the 10 damage rule, which is fantastic because then we don't have to pursue him. Okay, now I want to go and use bar. So this is the other damaged one, and we're coming in nose level. And remember, they're climb rolling. So we're going to go ahead and try bar. This nose attack hasn't really panned out much for us. So nose level, and his threat is only 1. But here you could see we get hit and there's a collision check. So this just blows even more. We don't even hit him. If we were coming in low, we would have. If we were coming in high, we would have. But the levels, no. Okay, so a couple of things. The first one, we get hit. And then, what's bar, by the way? His skill is, oh, he's quick. So if we want to, we can move it down to here so there's no collision check. That's a really tough choice. A collision check has all the possibilities of damaging the bomber, but it has the possibility of damaging bar. And so what I would be doing is I'd be moving him from here down to here, and then he would be evasive. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep the collision check. And we do take a hit, though. So let's get that resolved. So that is awful. Oh, that is awful. He's guaranteed to go into the crapper for that one. So bar is for sure going to get sent out unless I do a miracle roll. He moves 2, so he's going to go 1 and then 2 up to there. And this is a threat level 1. But we got to do the collision check first. And I may have to get out the sheet to explain to me how the collision rules work. But let's. So what you see here is we have a proximity. I got to look up that one. So it's just a matter of finding the right player aid that explains that. Okay, so proximity or veer. So if I'm in invasive mode, nothing happens. If determined, I roll a die. If the number rolled is less than the number of fighters in the element, you treat it as a hit and you flip the marker over. If it's equal to or higher than all the fighters in this space, you break away to the tail position. Okay. So Now, one thing to bear in mind is that fighter that I put in that box over there, he's technically still on the map. So when you're counting the number of fighters in the element, we have 4 fighters in the element. We have 1, 2, that guy way up there, 3, and then this one, which I already took off the element, he's technically in that box right there. So we have 4. So what it's saying is if we roll less than 4, then I'm going to get a hit. If I can roll 4 or higher, then all fighters that are in that space has to break away to the tail position and go to any return box. So there's a good chance we're going to be okay. And we are. I rolled an 8. And this marker stays on, so it'll help with cohesion check failure. So that stays on. And then this guy breaks away. Now, when he breaks away, he really is off the map. So if we have to do another collision check in the future, he's not going to be considered on the map. So by breaking away, he's going to go, we could go tail high or tail low. I'll do tail high, like that, okay? So now let's keep going. And we're in trouble now because we still haven't damaged anything. So let's go ahead and do Clausen up there. So he's going to be attacking the bomber that has no damage on him at all. And he's also going to be coming in from the nose at level. And his threat level is 2. So here you can see he's getting hit and there's nothing for him. Clausen does not have any skills. If he was down here, he would have hit them. But now Clausen just takes a hit and there's nothing we can do about it. So let's do that. And oh, that's an awful hit. Oh my gosh. He's going down the crapper too. And his number is 2. So that means Clausen was also climb rolling. So he would go here, and then when you hit the edge of the map, you don't move anymore. You just stay there. And then we do continuing fire. So his threat level is 1. And you can see here nothing happens. And we're not doing a dive, he's doing a climb. So he's fine. And he would end up here. I know I'm doing it ahead of time. It drives some people nuts, I know, but it's more efficient to just do it. All right, let's go for the last guy here. He's also coming in nose level. Nose level 2. We finally get a hit. It's only going to progress by 1, but there's no ammo. So he's basically going to have to go home. Now, here's the beauty of no ammo. You aren't forced to go home. It's just that there's nothing more you can do. However, if that one bomber were ever to go down, we know it'll be destroyed. And all you have to do is send a fighter to pursue it. We can send him. Even though he has no ammo, all he has to do is go there to take the picture, to, find the evidence that it's destroyed, and then we get the victory point. So our no ammo guy can be used to pursue a bomber that we know will be destroyed by the time we get there. Now, the problem is that bomber is not falling out of the formation. He's still flying, and that whole rule where, 5 wing damage destroys them is only in the pursuit map. It's not in this map. So it's an interesting situation, and we need a bomber that we know is going to be destroyed to go down, and he could actually help. So, all right. So we know that the progress is 1. He has no ammo, and he's going to get a hit. So the no ammo, by the way, there is a token for that, so you don't forget. And so we're going to give that to him. We know he's diving, so he's going to move 1 into this zone, which is not a good zone. That's two threat there. I'm going to go ahead and remove the dive marker, and let's do the hit on the bomber. So the hit that we get is an 8 wing, and I'm going to roll, and I rolled a 5, which is not enough. So it's 4 damage to the wing, which is really good, but not enough to take him down. And then now we have to do the continuing fire for him. And the continuing fire, he's in a threat level 2. He's determined. strafe. So if he was an expert, he could roll 2 dice. If one or both numbers are even, one bomber is damaged. If one or both numbers are even, one bomber in the element is damaged. Okay. Well, we're not an expert. So, and here you can see nothing happens. So he's going to go wee, wee, wee all the way home, and he was diving. So that means he goes to the tail, and he comes into the return position right there with no ammo. All right, so we're at the end, and we move up the mission turn. We're on turn 3 now. We're running out of time. Okay, caffeine check. Okay. All right. I think this turn right here is going to make or break a lot of stuff for us. So, or maybe the next turn. But this turn, we need some miracle rolls to keep our fighters from leaving the map. Next turn is when we can actually do some attacking. So, it's always like a 2-turn recovery, right? We attacked last turn, so this next turn is recovering, and then the turn after that, we get to attack again. So first thing up is move. There is no move action available because we're all in return boxes. And then next is return. So we have this guy here who is going to move up to low. He has no ammo, so he's worthless. But we're keeping him in the mission because he might be able to pursue a bomber and help us. So he is returning, but who cares, in a way. So we do have, though, this guy is perfectly healthy, Ifland, and he's returning, and he's now has the advantage of the sun. And what does that mean? The advantage of the sun means that he can possibly cancel a hit because the sun is blinding the bomber. So he's ready next round. And now we go to escort where nothing happened, and we go to recovery. So recovery is where we need these miracle rolls. So first of all, we have Clausen. That's a 9. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You saw it, right? It was on the camera, yes. Oh my gosh. We survived. We survived. Oh. No. What about the next one here? This is bar. Same deal. We need a miracle roll. Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh, I gotta pause the video and go play the lottery tonight. Oh man. That will never happen again. Oh! I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be so excited over a game, but that is... Actually, I should be. That's the whole point of playing a game. That was fantastic. I cannot express enough. Oh my gosh. All right. So we finished recovery. So next is blast and flak. So I'm going to roll a die. And it was a 1. And you can go here and see that a 1 is no damage. That could have helped us, right? Because we could take this guy down if the blast and flak would just hit him. And next is the cohesion check. And cohesion is not looking good for these guys. So we're going to roll. And I rolled a 3. And 3 is way less than all of this. This does go away because that was only temporary. But I know a lot of you were like, well, what happens when you fail a cohesion check? Well, the group is considered in a good formation, and now it's in a loose formation, okay? And it says element loose. So the entire element is loose. So that means that -1 applies to the entire element. So this is now a threat of 1. This is now a threat of 0. So everything in the element is subtracted by 1. Doesn't matter where you look, okay? So that's the reason why cohesion checks are so good, like if they fail. Now, it is possible for their cohesion to get a little better, but they can never go better than loose. Once you take them out of good cohesion, they can never get back to good. It's impossible. Now, it is possible for their cohesion to reduce to kaput. And then if they were to reduce again after kaput, then one of these bombers automatically falls. And it would be this one because he has the most damage right now. Okay, so you want to get them to kaput and then get them to lose cohesion one more time. And then the bombers will start dropping like flies. Now, once a bomber drops out, the cohesion automatically bounces back up to loose. If it's kaput and they pass the cohesion check, it automatically goes back up to loose. So there's a couple of reasons it'll improve, but like I said, it never gets better than loose. So we got it right where we want it, but we're running out of turns. That's the next problem. So we're on turn 4, and basically we got one more shot at downing these planes, and then we're screwed. And so we have to do a move, and I only have one plane that can attack. This plane has no ammo. So he's going to just wait, because I'm still going to possibly use him to pursue a bomber if one of these bombers were to drop out. Ifland is the only one who can attack, so I'm going to have him attack high oblique over there with the sun at his back, and I will definitely do that. It's not the best attack angle, but it's all we got. Okay, and then we go to the return phase, and these two guys are going to be available next turn to attack. All right, so now we move to escort, nothing happens. Recovery, nothing happens. Blast and flak. So let's see what we get here. I rolled a 3, and the 3 is a nose approach damage. Nobody's coming in from the nose, but this lead bomber does take a hit, and that's good. So let's resolve that. So the lead bomber, oh, that's 6 is doable. 10, oh. So the bomber just fell, okay? This bomber has engine damage, so we flip it over and you can see he has a E0. So this bomber right here is now out of formation. So what we do is we put a fallen in, and that goes over there, and a couple of things are happening here. First of all, this says element loose, so the whole element is -1. This says -1, but it's just the bomber, so it's only a -1 to these 4 spaces. So this space over here is not impacted by this -1. And both of them together, this is a -2, so that's now a 0. -1 from this and a -1 from that, okay? Now, what else we have to do is we come over here and we grab one of these bomber tokens, and we take the 3 damage. So we have a fuselage, an engine, and an elevator, and it goes right there on turn 4. So we can pursue that one now. Now, I can tell you the fuselage is not enough. The elevator is 1 out of 2, and then the engine, unless I roll a 9 or a 10, that plane needs to be killed by a regular fighter. We're not going to be able to. That's not an automatic victory point, but we could try, and that's what this game's all about, is trying. So now that we did that, we did blast and flak. So now we have to do another cohesion check. So we get to roll, and I rolled a 9. Okay, that's not good, because the element or the markers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think this counts as 6 and 7. I need to check. Let me pause real quick, and I will look that up. Okay, there was no need to pause. It's right here, the same place that does collision checks, right here. The number of markers. So the markers that count are damage markers, which we've been doing, proximity, which is the collision check, loose and kaput, that's the element one, and then fallen and destroyed. So that's everything you see there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And all I needed to do was roll less than a 7, and I would have succeeded at moving it to kaput, but instead I rolled a 9. So I rolled like a jerk there. But considering 2 of my guys healed themselves, I'm not going to complain. Okay, so now Ifland has a little bit of an easier decision. You know, which bomber does he go after? He's going to go after this one, which has a 2 threat, which is now a 1. We could go after this one, which is a 2 threat, which is now a 0. Well, he has to come from this angle. So it'd be a 3, which is now a 1. So they're both 1. So let's go after the one we know we can get. So Ifland's coming here. He's coming in high, which looks like that. And then we're gonna, I don't know if it matters, but I'm gonna roll dive away. And I have the sun. So what you do is you put this on, like so. Okay, so I think I got everything in place there. So we got to do an oblique card, which I think this is the first time we're drawing one of those. So we're going to draw an oblique card, and we're coming in high, and the threat level is 1. So high, threat level is 1. I'm going to get 2 hits on it, but then I'm no ammo, okay? So I forgot to say I'm determined. I'm definitely determined. So 2 hits with no ammo, but we don't get hit. So I don't know, that's not bad. And oh, and then the progress was what? Progress was 2. So with a progress of 2, I would move here, and there's nowhere else to move, so that's where I would stop, and that's going to be a threat of 0. Okay, so 2 hits on this guy. We should, unless I draw some zeros, we should destroy this bomber. All right, so the first damage token, I'm not supposed to look at that side yet, is a fuselage. The second one is a fuselage. So there's no die roll for this one, so we flip this over, and it's a 1, and that's the G. Oh, I don't even remember what the G is. Oh, it's the gunner. That's interesting. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's still not destroyed, and now we're going to roll for the 9. I rolled a 5, so not enough. So as long as this is not a 0, we got him. And it's a 2. He is destroyed. I'm over 10. The bomber blows up. So all of these go away. So the cohesion check actually improves with all of those that are now gone. However, good things happen. First thing, that's good, is a destroyed marker comes out. So he is now causing a -1 all around him. And then secondly, cash and prizes. So yes, we are out of ammo. And let me grab the out of ammo token. So this guy's out of ammo. He, because he was coming out of the sun, he can avoid a damage still. But first thing here, we had a fallen, 1 fell, so I forgot to do this. So we get a staff experience for having 1 bomber fall out. And then 1 got destroyed, so that's 2 more staff experience. So we have 3 so far, staff-wise. And then this guy is Ifland, and Ifland, he destroyed a bomber, so he gets 2 experience for destroying a bomber. Right? And then we destroyed a bomber, so we get 1 victory point because it's over the target. All right. And let me pause. I want to make sure I'm getting the right experience points for my pilot. That was right. It says it right here that it's assigned to the staff or the pilot. Okay, so yeah, he's out of ammo, but this is nothing but good. And then we do have to draw a continuing fire. He is in a zone now that has 0 threat, right? Because of the way the numbers and everything got modified. And just so you can see it again, he's in a zone that would normally be 1 threat, right? That 1 is reduced to 0. It's actually, you know, it can't be lower than 0, but it's at -1 right now. And so at 0, though, he gets hit because he was determined. Now, if even, place a damage marker on the nearest bomber. If odd, the fighter is hit. So I'm going to have to draw a hit marker. And that's different than this. So this is separate from that. Now, one other thing is this out of the sun cancels a hit, but if you're determined, it only cancels a hit if you roll an even. And so I need to make sure, can I use that for continuing fire? That's the one thing I forget. Rising out of the sun might only be for the initial attack. So 1 second. Okay, out of the sun does apply. It applies all the way until the breakaway step, which is the very last thing that happens. So, so I need to roll a die to see if I can cancel a hit. So that's what this is, and if I roll an even, it's canceled. And it is. So I don't have to take the hit. And then I'm going to roll here, and it says if it's even, then the bomber gets hit. If it's odd, then I get hit. Oh, it's odd. Oh, come on. We were getting home free, and it's any bomber. It just says nearest bomber. So it would have been a really nice event. But we take the hit. So let's give him the hit. And it's an awful one again. It's a wing with a really high number, and it's on our good guy. So this comes over here, and oh, there's the out of ammo. So he's out of ammo, so he wasn't going to be able to do much anyways, but I would have really liked it if he doesn't get killed. He's one of our few experts we have left. All right, and so continuing fire is done. And let me think about this. Go looking at the steps. That's the end of the turn. Okay, so the mission turn moves up. So we're on mission turn 5 out of 6. So we have a move action. This guy with no ammo could pursue somebody, but there's nobody to pursue. Well, there is, but we don't want to pursue him with that guy. We have Clausen, who is coming in from the sun advantage. And then we have Bar, who has a high tail. The high tail, I'm assuming, is the best position to be in. I don't know. I would say that even though he has the sun advantage coming in oblique, it's not a very good hit ratio. I mean, if you look at this, oblique high is a little bit better than oblique low, but there wasn't a lot of hit opportunities. The fact that we hit this guy was impressive. So, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send Clausen to pursue that bomber. And you can see that's an automatic interception. I don't even need to roll because he doesn't even have one space in between. So that's automatic. And then Bar is going to attack. This guy, I can at least move him. So, I don't know, I'll move him up to level. Who cares? And then we have to do recovery. And more miracle rolls, please. Oh! Oh my gosh, it happened again. All right, so he recovered, but he doesn't move. He stays here. We got 2 guys that are out of ammo. Really, there's only 1 fighter left that is capable of pursuing anybody. But we're still in this to win this. And now we go to blast and flak. So let me roll the die real quick. I rolled a 1, and I think we remember that a 1 doesn't do anything, which really stinks. And then we're going to do the cohesion check. And that's where I needed to roll a 1, but I rolled a 7. The cohesion check is only a 1, 2, 3, 4 now. So the remaining bombers are feeling a lot better about their situation. They're not as shaken. So we don't even fail a cohesion check. But I honestly don't care. I really like what just happened. So off we go. Time for more attacky. So Bar here, and has Bar used his skill yet? No, he has not. He's quick. So Bar is coming in from the tail, and we're going to go after this bomber right here, who at least has some damage. We're going to come right there, and we're coming in high. When you hang a man, you hang him high. And so we're going to come in there, And oh gosh, it doesn't even matter which way I roll, because by the time he recovers, the turn's going to be over, the game's going to be over, or mission, I mean. So we're just going to have him dive straight ahead. I think diving is usually better than climbing. I could be wrong, but I think so. So we're going to go ahead and do that. His threat is 0, right? -1 from this, -1 from that. So he's coming in high tail with a 0 threat after a bomber that already has 1 damage. Let's make this work. All right. Oh, is he going to be determined? Yes, he's going to be determined. He has the quick skill. He can switch. So, tail. Here we go. Tail attack. High tail, 0 determined. A hit and nothing happens to us. Bing, bing. Now this one was pretty awesome. 2 hits, but then you get no ammo. But we'll take it. A hit and nothing happens. A lot of times when you do tail attacks, there's usually an R, which means ride the tail, and then you get to draw another card, and then possibly another card. We haven't run into that much, but we do get a hit, which is good. And if this guy were to somehow fall with a wing damage, that's even better, because our no ammo guys can take him down. It is a wing, so, but he's not going to fall. If I roll a 10, oh, I rolled a 9. What a nice roll. But it's still not enough. He has enough wing damage that if we can get him to fall, he actually would be destroyed. The problem is he's not falling. And this is it. There's no turns left. So we got to do continuing fire. And let me check the card. Yeah, there was no progress. So he actually stays where he is. And the continuing fire... so if climb or climb rolling towards the position with the sun, you get to skip continuing fire. But we have a 0 threat, so nothing happens to us. And yeah, he makes it safely to here. All right, so let's play this out a little bit. I'll show you what I mean by this isn't good. So this is going up to the final turn, right? Turn 6. And we have 1 bomber who I can send to the pursuit map with no ammo. So I'll send him to the pursuit map out of the possibility that a bomber is going to show up on the same turn. Because if he's in the same space as the bomber, he can go after them. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I keep saying things and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. So 1 second. So I absolutely can do that. And here's the rules with it. You're allowed to pursue a bomber, which means take a fighter and move it over to this track, as long as 1 bomber is on the track. So in mission turn 1, when there was no bomber there, I couldn't do that. But it's got a real interesting example. So like if I put this bomber here, you know, because let's say another bomber falls, Clausen here can pursue him, or Clausen can turn around and pursue the one behind him, and it's an automatic intercept because Clausen's actually further along than the bomber. So it's a real interesting concept. And so then Frey here could go after this bomber or try to go after the one down here. So you can actually, you know, this guy could go backwards, that guy could go around, but it's all possible. And the reason Frey can come here is because we already have a bomber. Even though Frey can't attack the bomber, it still doesn't stop him from joining the map. So we're going to do it out of the hopes that 1 more bomber is going to fall, and it's going to be that one that has all the wing damage. Okay? So this is a bit of a wing and a prayer. And let's see what happens. All right, so now where I'm going with this is we're going to do blast and flak. And so my role here, in order to hit this particular plane, the plane that we want to see hit is this one. And I don't even know right here. I need to roll a 6. That'll hit him. A 5 will hit him. And, oh my gosh, a 5 or a 6 is all that it takes to hit him. No, I rolled a 2. All right, well, the 2 actually hit the other bomber that's out there. It is possible this bomber will fall, But that doesn't mean anything because I have no ammo. So let's see. And we got an engine. It could fall, but it does not. So he has an engine damage of 0. You know, and then here's the problem. Like, we do a cohesion check. That's great and all. I rolled a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It still passed the cohesion. But all that would have happened is it would have gone to kaput status. It would not have caused anybody to fall. So my hopes of getting someone to fall it's gone. Because we're on, and this is the problem. I rolled a really low flight limit, right? Because I rolled poorly. If I would have had more turns in the mission, I guarantee you we would have gotten that guy. This thing was falling apart. These bombers were in big, big trouble. So, and Bar here was ready to give him the bar tab. So we didn't get, we needed a few more turns, folks. So, mission's over. And why do I know the mission's over? Well, there's no attack going on. And right there, you can see the flight limit is at the mission turns. So we're done. So we can go ahead and take off our fighters. They all safely return home, even though they have no ammo. That's fine. So Iflin comes back. Bar comes back. These bombers, you know, the Allies are showing pictures of a bomber with all these holes in its wing, and somehow it still made it home. And that's exactly how it looks. All right. So we take that, we get these off. I can close the situation manual, and let's do pursuit. So with the pursuit, I can send both of those fighters after him, but I don't know if there's any advantage at all of sending a no ammo guy against him. So I'm gonna just send my no ammo guy back home. And if I end up figuring out a reason why sending a no ammo guy would make sense, I will bring him back, but Frey is coming home. Okay, and then let's get out our pursuit map, wherever the heck I put it. Where are you? Up here you are. Okay, a couple of things. First one, we have 2 tactical points. So we're going to spend both of those to give ourselves 2 tactical points. Next thing, our fighter is Clausen. I don't need to roll for an intercept. He was only 1 space behind. There was no empty spaces. So it was an automatic success. And then this particular bomber has 3 sets of damage. So you can see there's an elevator, which goes here, which is 1/2 necessary to destroy the bomber, but it's not enough. The fuselage is definitely not enough. You need 8, but the elevator counts, so that he actually has 2 out of the 8. And then the engine is the only one that could possibly kill him, but the engine damage does give us one other benefit. It gives us 2 more TP, right here. So, and let me zoom in for you so you can see that a little better. Now we're gonna roll, and if we get a 9 or a 10, it's lights out. And there it is. We're gonna roll that beautiful beam footage right there. The bomber's destroyed. So Clausen does not get any experience points, but the staff does. And so the staffel, oh, hold on. I always get confused on when you get them and when you don't when it comes to some of this stuff. I know for a fact the fighter doesn't. I know for a fact that because it's destroyed, we're going to get the victory points. So we're up to 3. Okay, so all of that is good. What I need to check is, do we get experience points for the staffel? And let me see here. Experience points are earned by the individual pilots and by the staffel as a whole. For example, the pilot forces a bomber to fall out. He earns 1, and the staffel earns 1. Staffel experience may only be spent on pilot experience. Yeah. Okay, I need to look it up. 1 second. Okay, the rule book for this game is really good. It's one of the best rule books GMT has, to be quite honest. it is so easy to find the sections you're looking for. And it even says destroyed already, which, oh yeah, that is exactly my situation. If setup reveals that the bomber is already destroyed before the first pass, which is our situation, it means the aircraft met its demise just as pursuing fighters catch up to it. Those fighters may not intercept another bomber, but the Staffel earns experience and VP for the destroyed bomber. Individual fighters do not earn EP. To earn Staffel EP and VP for a bomber on the turn track, you must successfully intercept, which is what we did. So, and that's why I was saying even the no ammo guys can successfully intercept, and we get, you know, the victory points for it. So let me clean up the map here and get this put away, and Clausen gets put away. That was a very, very successful mission. We did a lot better that time, folks. So the Staffel gets 2 more experience points because we killed something, or we destroyed another one. So 1, 2, right? I do Indian hash marks there. So we are at 6 experience points. If we had 1 more, we can override a die roll, which might be important because remember, we only have 6 missions, right? We only have 6 missions. I'm on 3, and we're in trouble. We did get 3 victory points, which that by itself was a wonderful day. And let's do a sanity check here. For 1942, we need 15 to consider it a win. So what, we're 1/5 of the way there. We're halfway through our missions, and we're 1/5 of the way there. So think about that. However, we have 3 victory points out of the 5 needed to not lose. So maybe 1942 is all about surviving. That's all we're trying to do. But we do have 3 victory points. We're off the Schneid. It is a good day. We're going to be having some, gosh, is Leinenkugel even something that existed back in World War II? Probably not. It doesn't matter. We're going to have some krauts and beer. Let's go. That's all I have to say. And my little vacation that Goering was planning for me, it got canceled because I'm needed elsewhere. So for now, I get to live. I won't be committing suicide next Tuesday, so I get to live for another day. All right. Now, like I said, we have 3 out of the 6 fighters killed, which is just not a good metric. If we ever get to 6, we lose. And then, of course, we have 18 fighters still available. Nobody's wounded. Even though some fighters got killed, we were able to replace them. So we're still at a full 18-man roster. So no losses. We are nowhere close to a win, but we do have 3 out of the 5. And, oh boy, what a third mission that was. So I'm going to end this video here. And as always, stay awesome, stay healthy, stay safe. And it is 100 degrees outside today. Not a very fun day to be out. And I will probably get some more videos in tonight. So you'll see quite a few come out. So thank you.